travelers. To all you that have wandered onto my video, I'd like to thank you. And I think we should get to the topic at hand. What is the third pillar of No Man's Sky? There's been a lot of speculation. A lot of people think it's cities or planet variation or just something in general. I think we've already gotten a hint as to what that is. That's because there's only one piece of information we have about what's in Beyond that isn't directly related to the online multiplayer or the VR support. And that came to us in the form of a review of someone who got to play a demo of the VR version of the game. I guess not version, but got to play the game in VR. And the interesting thing they noted was that these NPCs, the humanoid NPCs, they were walking around. They weren't static as they are now, which is easy to just dismiss offhand because it's not that big of a deal. It does a little bit for immersion, but you're only going to see that when you're on a space station or on a trading post. It's not really going to work for outposts because they're too small. So what's the real point of that? They could have done that from the beginning, except that there might have been some glitches because stations were glitchy, but they have animals and sentinels on the planets that are randomly generated, and they've got those navigation paths working. They've got them programmed to walk around, stop, and just do different things. So why would they hold off on making the NPCs move until now? It's kind of a strange thing until you think about the potential for there being an NPC overhaul. But what I mean by that is adding NPCs to more places and adding functionality to them, making them potentially enemies. This would drastically change the game. And then you could also see them in places you don't normally, such as planet surfaces, more of them on your freighter, and then most notably on your frigates, which are completely devoid of NPCs despite supposed to be having a crew. And while all that would be cool, just seeing them in the immersion sense, it's the potential for combat with them that is really intriguing. Because right now, there's no compelling opponents to combat. There's sentinels, which are just mindless drones for the most part, as far as we know. And then there are animals, which the AI on them isn't great, but you can't pretend like you have an enemy. There's a lack of role play there. You can't really imagine yourself as, you know, this swashbuckling space traveler when all you're doing is killing robots and some animals. The combat is so secondary to the game. Not even secondary. It's just a feature that you honestly could almost cut out at this point. But with the NPCs, it adds a whole new dimension. If the NPCs are moving around, talking potentially, and you also introduce the prospect of random encounter NPCs, like something you might see in Skyrim. And this doesn't just have to be for hostile NPCs. You can randomly run into an NPC that wants to trade a special item that you can't get otherwise. Maybe you run to an NPC that needs life support or hazard detection recharge, and you have to give them the elements. Those interactions that you have on the space station that are just kind of scripted? I don't know if that's the right word, but they're fairly arbitrary. Those would seem a lot more important. Now when you give a guy back? I'm back. My controller died. Jeez, that was bad. Controller cut out while I was trying to land on my frigate. But, back to the topic at hand. It would add a depth to the game that just currently isn't there. An ability to role play and just generally feel a sense of progression. Because sure, once you've upgraded your multi-tool, now you can take down a walker. Okay, but it'd be so much cooler if you were in a real battle against an enemy that wasn't just a tank. That had multiple weapons to use. Maybe it has a blaze javelin. Maybe it has a scatter blaster. And you need to adjust your strategy. Who knows? It would add a dimension to the game that would even it out quite a bit. And I think that's the most likely scenario. But I suppose we'll see, because Sean Murray is supposed to have a talk here in the next couple days, and we'll get more No Man's Sky information. I wanted to make this so I can tell you guys, ha, I told you so. Not really, but I wanted to get this out there, just, you know, just to talk about it beforehand. And I plan on making kind of some videos on the things that I would like to see happen in No Man's Sky. But I'm gonna wait until after an update on the status of Beyond might pop, because it would be kind of just, it might, you know, completely deflate my ideas or solve those problems or do any number of things. So I'm gonna hold off on those. Hopefully we'll be hearing about that third pillar this week, and we can start, you know, oohing and on about how cool it's going to be and all that. But while an NPC overhaul might not seem like a huge deal, I think it would drastically increase the playability of the game. Because right now that's one of the problems No Man's Sky has, is that at a certain point there's not that much to do and things seem repetitive. Anything that can increase the different kind of activities you can participate in, aside from just gathering resources, is a win for us. And that's my video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe if you want me to keep making more videos. It's just kind of lets me know if people care. And let me know what you think. If you think that'd be an utter disappointment, if you must have more variation or more city, or have cities, or an underground overhaul, or, you know, just anything you think it might be. And then I suppose if I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm stupid. But yeah, thanks for watching.